Hi, I'm Leslie Lowe. Welcome to Leslie's Lowdown on Life.
How are the kids doing?
I think they're doing great. They're all just making their way in the world on what they want to do.
They
Yeah.
are. I still feel, as Trish said, disability or an injury of this magnitude, it's not just me, it's the whole family. I mean, it just affected them so much. And it's tough for me to look back at that, but from where we all were as a family and where we're at now, I'm so proud of our kids.
Oh, even I was just in this I was just making it every day. Like I knew what time I needed to be down at the hospital. And, I had 3 kids at home. Our daughter, our youngest son, found out he's a type 1 diabetic when he was a freshman in high school.
A year before.
And then he's a sophomore and his dad is paralyzed. And so our oldest had to, and he didn't have a driver's license.
He's kinda
So
going through
she
driver's
had to
ed.
take on Dylan helping get all of his stuff ordered because Kendall did that. And
Get him to
get him
school
to
and-
driver's ed. I mean, she kind of had to take over a parent role because Kendall and I were just surviving every day as to what was going to happen.
I'm just so impressed with you guys as a family. I want to ask you a couple questions and then I'll wrap it up. But what do you say to your coworkers? Because I know that they were like just right there. They were fierce.
Yeah.
That's.
And when I say that, I mean Dave and Molly.
They would just come in and just be there, just not saying anything, just being there. And, it's a business of relationships. They were been in this room together every morning for years. And they're so loyal
Yeah.
to each other and supportive and
Family.
family. Yes.
And it was in those early days, actually the month at the Sacred Heart, basically. I do remember the early days, I don't remember, but I can remember Dave just sitting quietly. I remember Molly bringing Slurpees because I just was obsessed with a Slurpee. Tasted
Well,
so
and
good.
everybody just wants to be able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Do something.
And then about the time I think I was going to St. Luke's, and then I heard about their fundraising, and I was just so overwhelmed with all of that. They were fierce.
They were fierce.
They were fierce.
Even to hear them talk about what you went through now, they're still fierce.
Yes.
They're very fierce
They're
about it.
very
Mhm.
loyal to each other
Yes.
and supportive.
and
yeah.
us to them,
Yes.
Yeah.
you know.
It's-
we
And that could be a
definitely-
whole other podcast would be like, because I know when I was driving him the first year to work and what was happening at home because he could, there was several times he passed out in the mornings before I'd get him to work. And there was a whole thing with that. But then it's like, okay, there you go, Dave and Molly, here he is. I mean, they spent
Yeah.
early. I mean, he was back at work 3 months.
Which is amazing.
That those too early, but it was
Hey,
amazing.
And Dave and Molly,
I mean, that's something.
they integrated. They came to St. Luke's, and they practiced how to get me back into my chair should I fall out. I mean, they came up to my house, our house, the first time that I went up, and there was a gang of people in the bedroom watching me transfer onto our bed, and it's like, wow. I better do this right. But
I've never
You
had
better
such an
stick the landing.
audience. Yeah.
I mean, just the incorporation of people and for them to get comfortable
Right.
with me, and they're totally comfortable now. It's because it
But
is a little.
that had to be pretty nerve wracking
I'm
when he
sure,
initially went back to work. I mean, it was pretty soon after a spinal cord injury, and yeah.
It was quite soon.
What was that therapeutic for you?
Yes, I look back on it both two ways because we have a gal at St. Luke's who we is a confidant, and many times I've told her I went back to work way too early, but she said that's really what drove you to get out of the hospital, and is absolutely right. Get back to my family, obviously, but just that drive to there's still life out there. I know I can still do this.